Hi, sweeties. How are you doing? Welcome to my channel. Hope you are great. Disclaimer. This video reflects my personal opinions and comment rates. It's not intended to harass, harm, or defame any individual. Content is for discussions and educational purposes. So I came across this video, which I posted some part at NIAC, and this is a different stage. But I don't know why this is still happening in 2026. There were years when this thing happened in classes. But you know one thing that why I am not even kind of scared or surprised that this happened. It happened in Florida because for a 60 something years old woman who decided that she was going to use a black doll hanging to make illustration for the student. That is where the problem is, because nobody would tell me that she doesn't know what she was doing or she is ignorant of what she was doing. And being that the students in classes are all people that look like me, it's crazy. It's crazy that black people still have to do something like this, still have to deal with something like this in 2026. I learned that she has been fired from the school, and I hope she doesn't get to practice other places. Why? Because she is not a safe space for children. Children deserve a safe space where they will be comfortable with teacher, not where they will be frightened, because this is not okay. Let's get into this video.
It's hurtful and it's unacceptable.
After I seen what was happening, I decided that I wanted to get proof that that actually happened.
It on your side is blurring the picture and video he took due to their sensitive and disturbing nature, but it shows a black doll hanging by a cord under a TV. Noah told us he saw his teacher Karen Savage as she was putting up the disturbing display, and when the bell rung,
she followed me after class was over.
Yeah, that's
and she started talking over me and not letting me speak when I was trying to report what she did.
I don't expect something like this to come out of any school, any age group, anything, especially in the 2026. This is not something I wanted my child to experience. This is something that's going to stick with him forever. You don't want to remember lynchings and Jim Crow and separation and division, and we try to get away from all of those things. Our children are supposed to be able to go to school and not have to worry about being reminded of our past.
Have this depiction done in front of students where there were African American students in class. It's shameful, it's hurtful, and it's unacceptable.
A Florida teacher has been fired after she was caught on video hanging a black baby doll with a cord around its neck in a classroom filled with students. Take a look at this.
Oh my God. She got it. She got it.
Her name is Karen Savage, and thankfully she's been fired from her position as an art teacher at Barrington Middle School. She's 63 years old and thought it was a good idea to wrap a phone charging cable around the neck of a black baby doll and suspend it from a classroom television monitor. Another video shows her throwing the doll into the trash shortly after. According to students in the multicultural classroom, when they questioned her and told her that was wrong and racist, she just laughed it off and claimed that she did it as a joke and as a classroom management tool to get their attention. And to make things even worse, after class, she followed the 14-year-old student who recorded the whole thing to the student affairs office, tried to talk over him, and even tried to prevent him from reporting the incident to school administrators. But again, thankfully she's been fired from her job, and right now the Florida Department of Education's Office of Professional Practice Services is determining whether or not to permanently revoke her Florida teaching certificate. Obviously they should.
This world is so exhausting. Y'all not tired? Art teacher. What was the lesson? I work with a lot of teachers across the country, and I still don't understand this type of teacher. You could choose to do anything else, but you chose to work with children. Why? There are so many schools who have no cell phone policies in class, but thankfully, this child knew to take out his phone and record this. As a society, we deeply underestimate how school experiences shape children. I don't think we fully grasped how important child development is. how important those foundational years are for life. This is a traumatic experience that child who recorded this video and the other children in the classroom will live with forever. This is why I stress the importance of alternative forms of education: microschool, homeschool, co-op, charter, private, yes, public too, but there can't just be one option, because if you're stuck with a teacher like this because you don't have any other options, then what? And yes, she was fired, but the damage is already done, and I'm not convinced she's an anomaly in this building. I'm glad that the child that recorded this video seems to be getting the support that he needs from his family. But the disheartening part is that this was just the one that got recorded.
A Florida teacher hung a black baby doll by a wire in her classroom. She said it was to get her students' attention. We all know what this actually is. The video was captured by a 14-year-old student and later posted by his mother on Facebook. According to the post, his art teacher, Mrs. Savage, wrapped a charger cord around the black baby doll's neck and hung it over the classroom TV in front of the entire room. When the students called this out in disgust, she reportedly laughed it off. The teacher has since been fired, but many are saying this doesn't go far enough. Some are calling for her teaching license to be revoked so she can't do this to more kids. Despite trolls saying it's a joke, incidents like this aren't an accident. They're a symptom. Studies show that hate crimes have more than doubled since Trump's rise in 2015, and it's not hard to see why. We have people in public office promoting the Great Replacement theory, gerrymander away black votes, and ban books that dare to discuss racism. This emboldens groups to hang a noose before they storm the Capitol, alt-right kids programming to suggest that slavery wasn't that bad, and unite the right rallies with KKK members marching through college campuses. It all trickles down from the top, and that's how we end up with like this in our classrooms.
Talk. You ain't gotta like chess, play chess, to have chess moves being made around you.
Imagine being a middle school student and seeing your teacher do this.
You got it.
A Florida teacher at Barrington Middle School is under fire after a student recorded a video of her wrapping a charger cord around a black baby doll's neck.
See, when the country's being ran by racists and predators, your children are going to be targeted. And the people who support racists and the people who support predators are going to feel emboldened. Now, first of all, there ain't no need for no open investigation. This shit right here is so egregious, she should have been fired on sight. And I'm not going to say what the parents should have done, but I'm just going to say if that would have been my child in middle school who came home with that video, that they did that in front of my child, I'm probably got a case right now. But here's the problem we have in 2026. Because you're not the federal workers who got laid off, because you're not the qualified black military officers who got let go, because you're not the black police chiefs that they're doing away with, because you've yet to feel the impact of the gerrymandering and removing black representation in politics with so little we actually have. Some of y'all haven't even been paying attention to recognize they've already gotten around needing warrants to come kicking down your door. Because you're not feeling the negative impact, you can sit in this space of not to do anything, or feeling like it's no matter, your vote doesn't matter, or just feeling like it's not as bad as people make it because you got money in your pocket. You're not making the moves you should make, but they're making the moves around you. And then we have stuff like this.
The Democrats, you're either pro G-side or you're calling G-side out, and you're not willing to support it anymore. For the Republicans, it's you either support PDF files and that whole cabal, or you're calling PDF files out.
Let me stop you right there, and let me help you with something. Notice how you started out with, if you're a Democrat, you're either for genocide or you're against genocide. Then you went to the Republicans, you're either for predators or against predators, right? But this is how we got here from 2024. Notice you have no accountability of Republicans with genocide. You place all of the onus on the Democratic Party to be for or against it, as if that is the single issue for the Democrat Party, and yet the complete omission is to not even acknowledge where the Republicans stand on genocide. Because see, this is the tactic that was used against Kamala Harris, because she, being a part of the Biden administration, who was participating in the United States allyship with Israel that extended beyond 70 years. And because they were doing this, people felt that Kamala Harris was supporting genocide, even though she was the only one openly calling for a ceasefire. Meanwhile, there was no correlation to the Republican Party or Donald Trump, even though he was literally having dinner with Benjamin Netanyahu in Mar-a-Lago. Even though he was advocating Israel to fast-track the tactics they were already doing. Even though Trump's family was out there posting social media wish lists on what they want for Gaza after the Palestinians were removed. Which set the stage in 2024 for Republicans who don't care about their leader being a predator, but also supporting genocide. And the single issue that's been placed on the Democratic Party on behalf of the genocide isn't even an issue that directly impacts Americans. It's not even an issue that even addresses the issue for the most loyal voting base, which are Black Americans, and completely overlooks the elephant in the room, pun intended, racism in the Republican Party, misogyny in the Republican Party, homophobia, transphobia, fraud, violence, and corruption. All coming from the same party. Yeah, that same Republican Party that was trying to crack down on waste and fraud and has done nothing but waste money and fraudulently move money around to their own benefit. The party of law and order that's manipulating the laws and is ignoring court orders. Anybody out here at this point who can't make a distinction of the Republican Party and the Democratic Party can't be trusted and shouldn't even be talking on the subject. At this point, there's no need for congressional hearings. We understand that anybody who's appointed by Donald J. Trump understands the assignment to protect Donald Trump and to protect corruption that his administration is actively doing by stealing from the United States. Donald Trump is absolutely making America great, just not great for the 99% of America. All of his unnecessary wars and world issues and nuclear weapons and wanting to take Greenland and fighting with Canada and fighting with Mexico and taking issue with NATO and all of this performative bullshit is nothing but more than tactics. Robbing this country blind while setting up the Department of Justice for giving him immunity, protecting and pardoning all the criminals that support and are loyal to him, and creating an exit strategy for he, his family, and all of his loyalists who he has padded their pockets along the way.
By the time they figure out what went wrong, we'll be sitting on a beach earning 20%.
Now and late is not just a candy. The fight is going to have to be had, whether you want to or not. It's your move.
Good, because what made you think that was okay? Now, according to reports, a now fired teacher in Hillsborough County was seen hanging a black baby doll in her classroom, then later throwing it away. Now, the parents are saying it brought up painful historical imagery. Now, whether this was intentional or not, I think people want the same answer. The same answer I want. What was your thought process? Because we're talking about a classroom with kids, a place where students are supposed to feel safe, respected, and focused on learning. Now look, history matters, context matters, and actions can hit different when you understand the history that's connected to it. Now they say the teacher has reportedly been fired and the case was sent to Florida education officials. And reports even say that the FBI is aware of this incident. But I would like to know, what do y'all think should happen after something like this?
So let me get this straight. We got the middle school teacher in Florida that was filmed hanging a black baby doll from a power cable and a TV. We got another black mom who had to hide a camera on her child to find out the teachers at their school were verbally and racially abusing her. We had that one teacher who decided it was funny to make back of the bus jokes to black kids. We had that one lady, Nadia Boucher, who left her black dance student out of celebratory hugs and whatnot. And they still want to tell me I can't send my kid to school with a cell phone.
they still think they're going to get away with locking our children's phones in one of those dumbass bag things. That is the fattest fuck no for me. The very second I cannot pick up my phone and call my daughter and have her answer within the third or fourth ring is the second I pull up to that bitch like Madara pulled up on the Shinobi Alliance. If you think my daughter will ever not have immediate access to her cellular device, you have me Orochimaru levels of fucked up. And the funniest part about this fucking situation is, this is the same group of people that are like, oh, the libs are coming for our kids. LGBTQ are coming for our kids. Why is it always videos of racist people coming for our kids? Not only is there video proof of racist people coming for our kids, they see the shit and still want us to tell our children to put their phones in one of those dumbass lock bags. You got me fucked.
Learning her name or getting her fired isn't going to help any of those kids process the trauma of what she put them through this week. If you know anyone who is a licensed trauma therapist working in Tampa, Florida, near this middle school, I think it would be great if you were able to connect with them and make sure that those kids are getting the decompression therapy stuff they need after this.
From this video, like I said before in Naya Sim, I am bringing this here in Sim Naya because this is also a different stage altogether. One thing I will tell you is that the teacher knew what she was doing. She said she was trying to make them understand, to illustrate, and she was laughing about it. There are some things that will happen and you look at it, you know that the person knows what she's doing and the person doesn't know. But at this point in time, she does know what she's doing. And she is 60 something years old. So don't tell me she's even old. My mom is late, but she is actually way older than my mom. You heard me right. Way older than my mom. So if she could stood in front of the students to use that in front of there were black students and some other students. I don't know how the class, but there were so many black students and they were not comfortable with it. And thanks to all parents that are teaching their kids about a black history, because that would have been like them not knowing what was going on, but they are very woke that they understood what was going on and they were able to shun her off, to tell her this is not okay. And she was laughing. See, one thing I would say is that some people do not deserve to be teachers. It's simple as that. As crazy as this may sound, but it's true, because I am a teacher, and there are some things that could be tolerated. There are some things that could or should not be tolerated. This particular one is something that shouldn't be tolerated because this is very dangerous to the people that you are teaching. And one of the most important things when it comes to classroom management is making your student comfortable, because when your students are not comfortable, they won't be able to learn, right? And they will never, if peradventure maybe the woman continue, they would never trust that teacher again, because they are already seeing her as an enemy, of which she is. Why? Because she has also shown them that she is an enemy. As crazy as this may sound, but it's true. Right? Right. So they should take away her license. She should never be able to practice anywhere in the United States of America. Why? Because she is a danger, not only to black students, to other brown students too, but I am here for black people only. That behavior should never be accepted and should never be tolerated, no matter what it is. I don't care your skin color, I don't care your skin tone or whatever. That should never happen. And that is also very insensitive. Bye for now.